In this video, we're going to talk about the recent departure of the lead multiplayer designer at 343 and talk about what that means for Halo Infinite, what that means for the company as a whole, and is this a good thing, a bad thing, and let's just break it all down. But the GameLeap website is the best place to quickly climb to Onyx and beyond with in-depth tips, tricks, map guides, weapon courses, mechanical training drills. We got it on the GameLeap website, so do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below. Now, even though we just got an announcement of a lot of upcoming content, it's still quite a ways off. Not until May 3rd are we getting the bulk of the content that we've been waiting for, and it won't be even till quite after that till we see a lot of the big features that people want, like Forge or co-op campaign. Now, that being said, one of the almost most inexcusable and most desired feature that many people want is just more game modes. We want more modes in general. Specifically, the infection mode is notably not here. There's not a lot of variety in the game modes that are being introduced, and there's just a lot of lack of content, whether it's ranked or just regular multiplayer. Now, as some of our hopes are kind of being filled slightly, we get the news that the lead multiplayer designer for Halo Infinite, Andrew Witz, has parted with the studio, has parted with 343. Now, there's several different ways to take this. First off, to talk about Andrew, I don't blame him for leaving at all. In fact, I completely understand why you would want to leave, this ship, right? Especially if things are very mismanaged, and the speculation is a lot of the mismanagement comes from even higher above. It would be very frustrating to stamp your name on a project where you don't have a crazy amount of control. You're being forced to do things maybe not the way that you would want to do, and then when the project fails, you are completely held responsible, which isn't fair at all, and I would probably just jump ship as well. And the thing is, it's really hard for us to know his impact specifically within 343, but what I do know is that he came aboard in February of 2019, and at that point, it was almost like a complete reboot of Halo Infinite. So remember when we talked about Halo Infinite being announced quite a ways back? There was a lot that was worked on, and there was a lot that was even shown off, but they had to completely redo everything from the ground up, and they've really only been working on Halo Infinite for 2 years because they had to redo everything and restart, and that's about the time frame that he's been aboard, a little bit longer than that. And in my opinion, he probably came on board, looked at the systems, and was part of the decision-making process that's like, hey, we cannot just take what was already existing because it was absolutely just in shambles. And we kind of broke down a video talking about how a lot of what was done over that quote-unquote 10-year period with Halo Infinite's development was really not done all that well, or not done all that much. There was like multiple decisions to swap engines, and people that changed their minds, and people that made a lot of the game on an engine that they weren't going to use, and people leaving and coming and going, and it was just a fucking mess of a process. I'm not going to get too much into that right now, but I really don't think that the lead multiplayer designer is really the type of person leaving or coming that really matters, if I'm being honest. I think that the people that really matter at Halo Infinite and for its future development are the people that get to call the shots, make the decisions, steer the ship, and that is more interesting to me rather than just a lead multiplayer designer who's just ahead of a subcommittee part of Halo Infinite when everything is on fire. So that's important to understand. Now, that being said, I'm still very interested in who they're going to get to replace the Halo Infinite lead multiplayer designer. It seems that 343 is hiring a lot of people. They're trying to actually replace a lot of the workers that are in their company, and I'm really hoping that they're trying to get the right people on board that are going to stay with the game for the long haul, right? Get people that have a huge passion for Halo Infinite and just keep them on board and try to keep them for as long as possible. Because what could really happen that could be very problematic is that people use Halo as a stepping stone. You see this a lot in tech jobs where someone will get a job at a tech company, and then that will be a resume mark that they can use to find another job in the future. And in my personal opinion, that could happen if the future prospects for Halo don't look brighter and brighter. And at the end of the day, I really want to pass the question off to you. How do you feel about the lead multiplayer designer leaving? Are you excited that there's change? Or are you frustrated that it seems that Halo Infinite can't keep their employees? Or are you just done with Halo Infinite? I really want to hear your opinion about all of that. But the GameLeap website's the quickest way to climb to Onyx incredibly fast with targeted pro breakdowns, map guides, and so much more. Don't miss out and check it out right now down below.